Hello, Teach Better family. My name is Brianne Fennell. I am a training and development specialist with the Teach Better team, and I am here with Jillian DuBois, and we are going to be talking all things Teach Better 22, and you will learn a lot about her session. So stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Teach Better family. I am here with Jillian, and we are going to be talking about Teach Better 22 and all about her session for our upcoming conference in October. Hi, Jillian. Welcome.
Hi, Brie. This is so exciting. We've talked a lot on Twitter, but we've never really formally talked to each other. So this is awesome.
I know it's like a stepping stone. So we were just words on a page, and now we can see faces, and then we will finally get to meet in person in October.
Yeah, so cool, exciting. Like, I still can't believe it's coming up. Like, every month that goes by, I'm like, we're getting closer and closer. So
I know, doing these sessions with people, I'm like, it just brings me so much excitement to talk about the conference because it is coming up so soon. Jillian, will you tell us a little bit of just like who you are? And I know everybody should know you in our network, but just a little bit about yourself and your role in education.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm Jillian, and I'm in Clearwater, Florida. And yes, it is summer for most educators, but I am working full time, which is exciting. I am a repurposed educator, is what I have deemed myself. After 21 years in the classroom, I stepped out of the classroom into a new role in a different area of education, and I love it. But I also still want to be connected to the classroom. So I've got a few things up my sleeve and things that hopefully I'll get to do this school year, as far as read alouds for author read alouds, and slipping myself into the classroom to be with kids. So because I still, that's the most important thing to me. So, and I'm an author, illustrator. That's about it.
That's not it. You are just this breath of fresh air. I know that when I told people I was getting to go live with you, they were so jealous.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Do you want to tell us just a little bit about how you're involved with the Teach Better team? I know that I was a big fan of your Rethink Better blog series that you did with us with the team.
Yeah, still doing that. I think we're going on a little over a year with that, which is so much fun. I love that because as a blogger, it's kept me very accountable, just to kind of keep putting content out and kind of always be thinking and focusing on what, is pertinent and relevant and people want to listen to and hear. I'm on the podcast network. I have Moments of Imparted Joy with Jillian. And they're just it's a little micro podcast, just a few moments just to kind of spread just a little positivity. And let's see what else. Oh, yeah, I'm an ambassador, Teach Better ambassador, and speaker for Teach Better 22. So
tell us a little bit about the ambassador program. Obviously, you know that I was originally a lead ambassador for the team. And so what are your thoughts and feelings about the ambassador program? What are some of your biggest takeaways?
Probably the biggest takeaway is the fun that we have. So we have a Facebook group. I'd say that's one of the ways we can all kind of get plugged in together. We have monthly hangouts, and it just is a way, it's just a community. It really feels like a family, and we just promote Teach Better, of course, but we're involved. It's not just hey, we're ambassadors, we wear the t-shirt. It really is, us all coming together, sharing ideas, sharing stories, just sharing those positive and organic, authentic relationships that we've all grown to understand can really happen through social media. So even though we're not together in the same space in person, it really is a neat thing to bring us all together like that.
I love that. Megan and Andrea do a fantastic
Yes.
job with our ambassador program, and we just love all of our ambassadors. Anytime we are so excited to see everybody together, and I know you guys can't wait to meet each other as well. Can you tell us a little bit about like your session for Teach Better 22? Like, just give us all, like, don't give everything away. Just give us like one of those little sneak peeks. Like, what can we expect from your Teach Better 22 session?
Well, I remember when I put in the proposal and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to toss it in there because it really is, it's got a weird name. I called it Weird Smells, Wild Noises, and Wonderful Differences, Celebrating the Joyful Classroom. And I think it's mainly because, we can have so much fun with our students and we can have so much fun as educators if we just kind of take the time and focus on the things that really kind of spark our joy. So, and realizing that we have that realm of influence with our students that nobody else does. Right. And it's funny because one of my favorite quotes comes from Harry Potter. Professor Dumbledore, right, said, "Words are, in my not so humble opinion, our most inexhaustible source of magic, capable of both inflicting injury and remedying it." And I find that that's so like multifaceted and so deep because really one of my favorite things to do is to be a storyteller and to use my words. And if you ask any of my students in the past, they would have said, "Oh yeah, Mrs. DuBois's stories are 100% true. She never tells us a story that is not true." And that is really what I found to be foundational to build community and relationships with your students. And they have, I don't know, it just kind of like allows us to follow that extraordinary path as we grow together throughout the school year. I mean, we only have them for 100 and so many days, 175 days. So we have a short period of time to help them grow and to succeed. And I think what they need most from us are to use our words of affirmation, to be a cheerleader in their corner, to convince them that they're exceptionally remarkable human beings, no matter who they are. Each one his or her own person. And I think, to be truthful, sometimes kids are, well, not sometimes, kids are mean and kids can be very unkind, but it's up to us to facilitate that and turn it around. And we have that superpower to do that. So this session is actually going to be kind of like an honest sharing of the journey with learning differences in my own family, a few lessons learned along the way, but kind of really seeking just how to refocus our approach, remodel our boundaries with students, reframe our differences. And, just to speak a little bit about the topic or about the title, it came from my students used to always say, "Oh, Mrs. DuBois, you're so weird." And I'm like, "Oh, that is awesome. I was hoping you'd say that because it took me so long to get this way." And they'd look at me, and, they're second graders, right? And they would laugh, and just kind of setting that tone at the beginning of the year and helping them to understand that it's okay. They've got a weird teacher. They've got a teacher who's going to let them be weird too. Weird smells, right? Wild noises, weird smells. You know what? Let the wild noises and the weird smells commence. If they can smell a bodily function, hey, they can focus on something that you're going to be teaching. In my humble opinion, acknowledging that weird and wild is okay. One of the first things that I do at the beginning of the year is read them a story. Actually, it's called Rumple Buttercup. It's my favorite story. I talk about it all the time, but it truly is about Rumple Buttercup, and he's not really attractive. But he has an imaginary friend, and they learn the joy of individuality and the magic of belonging. And I read it at the beginning of the year, and I encourage my kids. I'm like, be weird like Rumple. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to accept you. You're going to accept each other. Now, the wild noises, that's a little different. Kids bark. I don't know why my kids bark. If it's not the right time, make time for your kids to bark, hone in on what they need, let them play, right? I know you're all about that, Bree, letting them play. Hone in on their play before it's too late. So pull out the iPads, do a quick Flipgrid topic with them, let them make noise, let them bark, let them be strange. And in saying all that, it's not a free for all, right? It's not something that's, hey, let your class go wild and crazy, but it's setting the tone and setting those boundaries for them. And, if it gets out of control, then pause, hit the stop button, redirect with okay, let's get back to work now, guys. We'll try and do this again when we can all be more supportive with each other, and so they automatically go, oh, okay, great. So you setting boundaries, remodeling, and being able just to let them be who they need to be and celebrating that joyful classroom. That's what just gave me so much energy as an educator throughout the school year. Yes, it's tiring. Yes, it does take a little bit more thinking, but I tell you what, be weird. Kids think you're weird. That's awesome.
Yes, and kids will remember that too. I mean, for years to come, like those teachers that they had to stay in this straight line, and the teachers that kind of just let them be themselves. And so it sounds like I would have flourished in your classroom, because I am definitely weird and wonderful. I love play. And, I was just sitting here thinking that, like, just my wheels were turning, and I think this will happen during your session too. Like those teachers who were really supportive of me and my writing and art, and teachers who were like, hey, that castle is supposed to be gray and have a little moss on it. It's not supposed to be rainbow color. But those kinds of things, they really stick with you. And like, you have that power to like build those kids up. And I think with you saying like, I'm okay with being weird. Like when they say that to other kids, they're like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I'm weird because my teacher said that's okay. So I love it.
Yeah. Celebrating those differences is so important. And sometimes it's the things that we don't say, what we don't say, is just as important as what we say. So we really have to think, what's our body language saying? What is our, our facial expression saying too? Because that can build somebody up or tear somebody down just as quickly. So many things to think about when you're in a classroom, but and reimagining all of those things. I hope we can have some fun with it. So.
Absolutely. So, like, if you could have people bring anything to your session, what would be your ideal, like, I don't know, like they had a suitcase and they come into your session, what should they put in it?
Wow. Well, they can bring their bodily functions. They can bring their wild noises, weird smells, and all the differences that they have, and we'll share them together. But definitely we'll have a little bit of interactive activities. So, and not icebreakers. I know I'm not an icebreaker person, but like, Padlet or something fun, because I do want us to be able to share some ideas. So bring the ideas, bring all the weird things that maybe have happened in your classroom that have sparked some joy, and, anything that just can kind of help us support and encourage one another in our journeys.
If people are like on the fence about like, this sounds kind of like a cool conference, like what would you say that would convince them that Teach Better 22 is like going to be the place to be in October?
I just think it's going to be full of not just people, that we all want to meet, but I just can't get over that there's going to be so much there that we're going to benefit from. So there is something for everyone. It's not going to be something for the administrator, something just for the elementary teacher or the middle school teacher. It's for everybody, and our hearts are poured into it because we know what we've gone through to even get here to this conference after 3 years, I think. So definitely it's just going to be one big happy family party.
I am I can't even tell you how excited I am. Like, I just cannot wait to just like be in the same room with people and just kind of celebrate as educators together.
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell us a little bit, like you have a couple more minutes, about your like upcoming projects, like something that you're working on right now that you'll be able to bring to Teach Better 22 and share with us?
Well, I do have, I'd say I just published my 5th book. Children's books kind of are my thing. And I do love to illustrate them. And I've gotten to where I publish them on my own too. So it's just kind of, it's not a very big deal, but it definitely is something that I call it my therapy. So I've published 5 children's books, all with social emotional learning messages. And I've recently gotten into illustrating for other people as well. So I have actually 2 projects with author Bridget Gengler, who is a Teach Better blogger as well, and with Kim Colazzo with Road to Awesome. So that'll be her 2nd book that I've illustrated. And it's just that probably, I love writing and I love sharing my own stories, but to tell a story through pictures for someone else is a huge responsibility. And I've gotten to where I've gotten over the fear part of it. And Jeff Gargas has helped me through a lot of that with our Edupreneur Mastermind group, because I'll shout that out because, I got over the fear of, I'm kind of in business for myself. How do I make this work? But yeah, it's just something that it just brings so much joy to my heart because I can help others tell their stories.
What's so cool about our conference is that you have the opportunity to submit books to be in our bookstore. And so if you are an author and you are thinking about, even if you can't be at the conference, being a part of our bookstore, go ahead and go to teachbetterconference.com and find our bookstore link so that you can have your books on the shelves to share with all the awesome educators that are going to be with us.
Yeah.
So Jillian, thank you so much for being on here with me today. I had a blast and I cannot wait. Thank you for giving us this sneak peek into your session. So weird and wonderful. And I will be back here at 2:30 Eastern time today to talk with another one of our featured speakers. So thank you everyone for joining us today.
See ya.